Hey guys, it's Clint. I'm going to talk about Image Comics sweeping the Eisner Awards. This is really insane if you think about it, and not insane in a good way. This is weird. So actually, I didn't do a video for Saturday because I had a lot of stuff going on, and I actually went with my wife and we watched Avengers Endgame. Now, we have watched every single Marvel film together. I would, make like a date night out of it, except for Captain Marvel. That was the only one we didn't watch. And we were worried going into the movie theater that, if we miss that movie, are we going to miss something and not be able to enjoy the Avengers because of it? Turns out, nope, you don't have to watch Captain Marvel. It doesn't matter. I won't spoil anything. I will say that overall I enjoyed it. It wasn't my top favorite Marvel movie, but I liked it okay. There were, I think, 2 moments that were so just cringy because of virtue signaling, but those were short-lived. They were enough that I'm a little worried about the future. So I don't know. I guess what I wanted out of it. So I'm, whatever. I'm fine now. I got the resolution I wanted. Okay. So Image Comics swept. They made history. Here it says they swept the Eisner Awards for Best New Series. This is insane. If you think about the sheer number of comics that are made and published every single year, and for every one of the winners to be published by Image, it says a few things to me. Overall, though, I'm actually pretty suspicious. There's some things that are not great about it. So I'm actually signed up for Image's newsletter, but I don't read it all that often. But Pete, who I know is a loyal subscriber, and he's actually backer number 1 of Downcast, he sent this to me and said, hey, you should read this. And I did, and it's worth, I think, making a video about. And the side note, Image actually uses MailChimp to send their email out. I don't know why that's strange to me, but they're using all the same tools that are available to you as well. Like if you're making indie comics or you're thinking about starting your own publishing company, things like that, the more I look at it, it's not rocket science. It's stuff, you could do this. It's about spotting talent and getting the right books published. And they have some connections and stuff in history, but they're just using MailChimp. So right on the homepage for Marvel Comics, Image. Image makes history. It's the first publisher to sweep the Best New Series Eisner nominations. So not awards, nominations. I don't think they've gotten to the awards yet. And I've already made videos about awards and are they important. I still don't know in general if awards can actually serve a positive thing. If they can serve a purpose and help something, maybe. I'm open to be convinced if you can make a good argument for it. But when awards are treated like this, I don't know. This is strange to me. Is the Eisner Award, the board, their board of people that look over this, people that get nominated. I realize a publisher is the one that sends in nominations. So Image, the publishers there have made a big deal. I think it's Eric Larson right now. They made a big deal about sending nominations in. And, so it's up to them. So the fact that they're sweeping it, this is something that they planned to do, sending in a lot of nominations. Now, for them to sweep the nomination, that takes a board of people to decide who's in and who's out, all that kind of stuff. Why is it all from the same publisher? This might have something to do with the Portland, Oregon. This is, where this press release is going down out of 30 nominations in total. So Image Comics made history today as the first publisher to sweep the Best New Series category for nominations in the 2019 Eisner Awards. This year, Image titles have received 19 nominations plus 11 shared nominations for a total of 30 Eisner nominations. And here's a quote here. It's always exciting to be nominated for anything, but to receive as many nominations as we did this year is a powerful testament to the sheer volume of creativity produced by the amazing writers and artists we work with here at Image. And that was said by Eric Stevenson. I have not heard anything from Eric Stevenson in a long time. So his little blog he does is gone. I'm surprised it wasn't Eric Larson. Eric Stevenson said that. Now, keep in mind, for nominations to happen, you're nominated by your publisher, and Eric Stevenson was the publisher for Image Comics for a number of years. I don't know if he's going to step back in again. My understanding is it's still Eric Larson at the moment. Oh, well, I should have read ahead here. Publisher and Chief Creative Officer at Image Comics. Does that mean that something changed? I must have missed another press release. So Eric Stevenson is publisher and chief creative officer at Image Comics. Even more exciting is Even more exciting is dominating the new best new series category, if only because we take so much pride in making our specialty. Below is the full list of Image Comics nominees. We're going to look at those. Okay, so I will say this. New series definitely cuts out a lot of publishers. It cuts out the big publishers on a lot of things. They can start new series. They're kind of, the same series. So I can see, the idea is to reward creativity and stuff that's genuinely new, not just rehashing Captain Marvel over and over and over again. But this is worrying because Marvel is the biggest publisher. They can afford any talent that they want, any talent, and yet they can't attract talent, or they can't, give them the freedom or whatever it is that they need to do to get somebody to write a book that would be nominated. But does the nomination, what does it even mean? If they did go through that kind of, process to get the best book, best new series, would they still be nominated? I don't know. The other thing is, if you look at the rest of indie comics, it kind of bothers me when people say, you'll look online, best indie comic series, and I guarantee you 9 out of the 10, there'll be lists, 10 of the best indie comic series, 9 out of 10 of those are going to be published by Image Comics. How big does a publisher need to be for a comic book to still be considered indie? I realize it's creator owned, but when Stan Lee was making comics and he owned it, was that still an indie comic, or was that a mainstream comic? Do you understand what I'm saying? It seems really weird to be holding on to the title of indie and cutting out other actual indie titles. In order for them to get this. It just seems so weird. There are so many publishers out there, indie publishers, that are doing new stories, and I suspect that a lot of them aren't even being considered. Maybe their publishers aren't submitting things. That's possible. Maybe none of it really matters, because Image Comics is where, everybody's putting all their eggs in one basket here. So best short story, Get Naked in Barcelona. I've never heard of that in my life. I will pass. Doesn't sound like a comic to me, but okay. Best single issue or one shot is The Terrible Elizabeth Dumb Against the Devils in Suits. I've never heard of this either. What is going on here? I've never heard of it. Best continued series, Gasolina. Man, I feel out of the loop. I haven't read that either. None of these. I guess I've been into Comicsgate books, and Alterna and stuff like that. But yeah, I really feel out of the loop here. Bitterroot. There's another one, Crowded. Gideon Falls. I have heard of Gideon Falls. Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire is on here so many times. And I realize I actually have never read a Jeff Lemire book. I thought about trying Chew and reading that because I had heard so much about it in the past. But I just go back to the concept, the premise of the book about, some guy that can eat people and then know what happened to them or something like weird superpower with eating people just didn't appeal to me. But he gets a lot of praise. He gets an awful lot of praise. Isola, Man-Eaters, I can only imagine, Skyward, Middle West, Narrowway, Get Naked, as opposed to, so is this different than Get Naked in Barcelona? Same guy. Okay, so, alright, 2 different things, but same title, almost same title, I don't know, I don't get it. Best Anthologies, Twisted Romance, I don't know about anthologies. Best graphic album, My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Okay, well. Point is, I don't know. I haven't heard about any of these. I feel like it's a very selective group of things. I'd have to read all these though. I don't want to though. That's part of my problem. There's a lot to go through. But how are they all Image comics? I'm shocked that they could possibly sweep this. Best lettering. I know a letterer. That I think could compete with a lot of these. Best coloring, Matt Hollingsworth. He's good. I have to say, he's very good. This is not Image. Oh, because he did a book for Image, Witches. Okay, so shared. Okay, that's what they mean by shared then. And, that basically finishes it up. Okay, so few things here. I do think that there's value in recognizing people. This is the same kind of thing I hear. So people complain, creative people will complain that they don't get enough recognition. They don't get enough freedom to be creative. They're just paid to do their job, and that's it. Move on with your life. Somebody else is getting the credit. This has been a beef since I think the beginning of comics. something has gone on. People take advantage of other people. Yeah, I get that. So I can see where getting recognition, having your work recognized is nice. It's good for morale. I'm not sure that anybody is setting out to make a book that they can get awarded for. At least I don't think that's the way that it should be. If you are going to make a book just for the sole purpose of getting nominated for an Eisner Award, what exactly would you have to do? Write the best comic you could? If that was the case, then it wouldn't be about Eisner Awards. It'd be about writing the best comic that you possibly can. If it's about getting an Eisner Award and you think, if I write the most quote-unquote progressive story out there, then I have a better chance of getting published. That's a whole different thing, isn't it? Then the award is not about merit. And if an award is not about merit, doesn't that make it not an award? You're just recognizing somebody for doing what you think that they should do or checking off a box. So, I don't know. This is interesting, little troublesome to me, but I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Is there any value in having an award? Should we start another kind of indie comics award and take control away? I don't know. I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Don't forget, guys, there is less than a week. 6 days. By the time I post this, it'll probably say 7 days. By the time or 7. It'll probably say 5 days by the time you watch this. We've done fantastic, $21,000, and we're really close. We're getting super close to getting 600 backers, which is fantastic. If you haven't backed Downcast out, if you haven't backed it yet, you're running out of time. It's going to end, and I don't want you to miss out. So be sure to check it out in the links in the description below. Check it out, and if you're interested in it, please do back, because that helps me out, helps you out, and we'll push forward to the future of comics. So thank you very much. I will see you next time.